Good morning, good evening, or good night, or whatever time you're watching this. I hope you enjoy this video. I've got a bunch of fletchings that I gotta make to get in preparation for deer season. It comes in October and it's not gonna be too long, and it's gonna be here. Got about 2 months to wait. I'm gonna be tuning my arrows next video, but this video is all gonna be about fletchings. I'm gonna teach y'all how to make fletchings from wild turkey feathers, because wild turkey feathers, in my opinion, are so much better than whatever you can buy. They're a lot more durable. They're a lot more water resilient too. I've shot them through the ground. It's been pouring down rain, shot them through the ground, and they always come back to their normal size. So that being said, let's get in this video. Follow my Instagram, probably throw it right there. Yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, like, subscribe, helps me out a lot. And yeah, let's get right into it. What I use to cut the feathers is a roller cutter. I've got a ruler over here, and this right here is a feather cutter. You can buy them. I bought this off of Three Rivers Archery. It's the shark cutter. When you buy stuff like this, there's only one shape, design, whatever you can get with them. This one here is for a 4-inch shield cut left wing feather. I used to just cut them with the roller cutter. Made me a little jig thing to lay on the feather and then trace it with the roller cutter. But this thing makes it a lot easier, and if you're going to use this, I recommend using a rubber mallet or something to hit it down, because it's a little, if you were to sit here and go like that, it'd hurt your hand. But nextly, what you'll need is feathers. Here is some wild turkey feathers that were harvested in probably this year and last year. I have a lot of people I know that give us turkey feathers because, you know, they know I use them. But there's different kinds, and you have these feathers. These feathers come off the back of the turkey wing, and they're a little bit softer. And you can tell that this one's from the farther back because of how soft it is, and how this side has a little bit sticking out. Now the stiffer ones, well, that one's already been cut. Let me find a stiffer one. This one here would be a little bit stiffer. This would be getting about to the middle of the back, and it's one of the longest. That one here would be pretty stiff. As you can tell, this one here is kind of a lot more stiff, and there's not much that sticks out on this side. So that's one way to tell which ones are stiffer and which ones are softer. If you have enough feathers to use, you can use all of the same ones. All of the stiffer, because the stiffer are going to be towards the front of the wing. Then as you come back, the softer they're going to get. I usually don't. I just make sure I use from that frontal wing part. See, this one's pretty hard. But like I said, I need left wing feathers. I have none of these feathers sorted. How you're going to be able to tell what wing feather this is you want to grab up from the front of the feather, okay? This up here is going to be where the top of your fletching is, where it's going to come up and be the biggest part. What you want to do is you want to grab it from there and hold it like this, and as you can see, this one right here curves to the right. So I know that that is a right wing feather. So I need left wing, so I'm probably gonna have to go sort through and try to find some left wing feathers. So I went and I got some feathers and sorted them out. So this right here would be your right wing feather. You hold it from the thick side, hold it up, curves to the right, it is a right wing feather. This here, okay, this is a big side. You grab it like this, hold it up. This is a left wing feather. It curves a lot to the left. So I'll let you see the difference. You grab it from the big side and hold it like that. You can see how one curves that way and one curves that way. Whichever way they curve is what side wing that they are. So to cut them, what I like to do is I'll take my feather, lay it just like this, open my roller cutter blade, stick the roller cutter right down through the middle of it, and just roll upwards. Try to control it. I bumped the camera a little bit, sorry about that. pull that out, and boom, now you've cut that. And that is stage 1. So I'm going to do 18 more, and I'll catch you guys here in just a second. They are all cut into the halves. Now, what you want to do is take your ruler, and you got to know what you want to shoot. I like to shoot small fletchings because I take a lot of time in bare shaft tuning my arrows to know that I can shoot smaller fletchings and get away with it and make sure my arrow is still flying as straight as possible. So that being said, I like a 4-inch fletching, and I only 3 fletch, and I like a 3 or a 4-inch fletching. I've had great success with it. It's always been fine as long as I've tuned my arrows properly. I've never had a problem out of it. They've always shot good. They've always done everything I wanted them to do. I don't go into the complexities of 3-inch 4 fletch or 2-inch 4 fletch and all that. You know, this has worked, so I'm going to stick with it until it doesn't work. What you want to do is you want to find what portion of the feather you want the fletching to be made out of, because this is only going to be 4 inches long. The closer you get to the tip, the smaller the quill is right here, and you have to take that into effect. Up here it gets pretty small, so I'll probably pick this bar right here to start. As you come down, the quills start getting softer and softer and softer. These down here are extremely soft. These up here are a lot more. That being said, since I've picked out where I want to cut it initially at, I'll just take my roller cutter, pop it down through there, cut it, throw it in the junk. Okay, I'll come over here, put this on the edge of this, come over here, put my finger at 4 inches, and pop that down. So that is a 4-inch feather. You want flu-flus? There you go. Right there's your flu-flu. And if you were to already have fletchings cut, you need to see what wing it is. Or let's say you've already bought some from the store and you just want to see what kind of what wing they are. This right here will be towards the end. You want to grab that, and you can see it's a lot more minor like this. I'm trying to, there you go. It's a lot more minor like this, but it still does curve to the left. I'm gonna cut, which actually, I didn't even think about this. You don't have to do that on this. With this little gadget right here, you don't have to, because it'll lay in like this. So you want to cut it about maybe an inch longer, just so that you can lay it into this thing. Okay. Other than that, let's get to cutting. Now that I've got all these cut, I'm gonna take this thing. This is where the mallet comes into play. You want to lie it just like this. Wait, let's see. Actually, just like this. Sorry, I lied to you. You want to face it, the outside of the feather facing outwards, and you want to kind of like set it down into that groove. Hold your fingers there and set it down, and then you got it down. Hold it down with your hand, kind of like this. Take your mallet and just a couple times. Usually that'll cut it, and you'll just pull it out just like that. Sometimes they get stuck. Sometimes you gotta hit it an extra time, and that's fine. It happens. And this time it comes out. I don't know if y'all can see that or not, but anyway, comes out about perfect. So I've got 17 left to do, and I'll be done shaping them, and I'll show you the next step. we have 18 fletchings done, ready to go. Now the next part you'll have to do is sand the quill down to where they're a lot more flexible. And yeah, let's go out, get to the sander, and I'm gonna sand these down. I'm out in the building. What I've got here is the fletching jig. This is the piece where you put the fletching down in, and it makes it a lot easier to sand when you have this, because you can take your fletching, take this thing, you can set it up right in there just like that, and you can hold on to this, because you have to be really slow and careful with this. You do not want to ruin these. If you go too far, you can break it, mess it up, and then you have to go cut an extra one, and it's not fun because there's only so many left wing feathers and right wing feathers you can get from wild turkeys. Anyways, let's get to sanding. This is about as thin as you want to get it, so that it's pliable, but it's still a little bit stiff, so it's not too thick. And then here at the end, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put a little bit of bevel on it, and then we'll be done with one, and we'll have 17 more to go. I'm not gonna record this because it's gonna take a hot minute. So yeah, see you in a second. There it is, 18 trimmed fletchings, and they're all sanded down, ready to go. Follow me into the kitchen, and I'm gonna show you how to do the most fun part, which is dyeing them, because once you dye them, they're done. Anyways, follow me into the kitchen, and we're gonna take off out of here. Alrighty guys, here comes the fun part, because it's also the last part. To finish your fletchings, what you need to do is take dish soap and put just a little bit on these and clean them a little bit, because after you just ran them through there, it gets dust, there's stuff on them. They were once on the side of a turkey, so they're a little bit dirty. Take it, clean them just a little bit, lay them out and dry them off really good, and then you'll be ready for the next step. For the next step, after you wash them in the sink in a little bit of dish soap and a little bit of water, what I like to do is I just take a cup, a little red solo cup, pour water down in it, put a little bit of dish soap in it, stir it up, dip the feathers down in there, kind of give them just like a little bit to soak, maybe like 30 seconds, pull them out, rinse them off, set them on a towel. To dry them off a little bit better, I'll take a napkin, put it down on the napkin on one side, take the napkin, flip it over, and press down on them a few times until it's not really making the napkin that wet, and that's how you know they're getting pretty dry. You have two different types of fletches. You have hen fletch and a cock fletch. You have 2 hen fletches and 1 cock fletch. So your 2 hen fletches will be the same color, and the cock fletch will be different from the hen. That is your indicator of which arrow needs to be on the outside. So you need to split them up. I've got 12 on one side, 6 on the other, and you need to figure out what colors you want to use. I'm going to be using Fred Eichler white and pink wraps. What I've decided to use is, this is Country Time Pink Lemonade water flavor. And for my hen fletches, I've got Blue Raspberry Lemonade and Blue Raspberry. Though this color of this is actually pretty light blue. And all this is it's a basic little chemistry reaction. And yeah, let me show you how to get into that. So Koolaid is really acidic, and mixing that into the feathers will dye them. So if you want it to be a little bit more profound, I usually take vinegar, and I'll dump a little bit of vinegar in there just to make it a little more acidic. Not much. You don't really need a lot, because that's now pretty acidic. I'll take the Blue Raspberry Koolaid, and you can see the color of that now. So it's a pretty light blue. And the reason I use that Country Time Pink Lemonade stuff is because I couldn't find any pink Koolaid the last time I went to dye feathers. Okay, so I just like to take the feather and get in here and stir it up real good. And then, as you can see, I don't know if you can see that very well, there's not enough light, but at the top of this, just where I stirred that, it's already turning blue. And when you use wild turkey feathers, the more white and the more bars that they have in them, the better they will die. So what you want to do is you just want to set these down in here. And feathers do float, can't really do nothing about it. Just kind of disperse them out as good as you can. And to speed up this chemical reaction, what you want to do, you want to put them in the microwave. Usually I'll put them on one side for a minute, flip them over, put them on the other side for a minute, and then so I'm gonna put these in the microwave, and then I'll see you whenever I pull them out. 1 minute on either side for both of them. And now that's pretty blue. Here is the pink. Alright, so that was just the 2 minutes. 1 minute on either side. What I like to do is I'll take forks or something, and because you know sometimes in the microwave they don't get held down as much, so what I like to do is I like to take something to where I can kind of hold them down under the water, and I'll leave them in there for about a full day. So what I'll do is group them together like that. So now I'm just gonna leave those in there until tomorrow, and I'll catch y'all tomorrow and we'll see what they look like. So it's the next day, and all I did was pull them out of the water, gave them a little rinse off. There is the pink fletchings. All I did was pull them out of the bowl, give them a rinse and dry them off. They'll look a little bit better after they become completely dry. And here is the blue. Alrighty guys, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed that, please leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, I think they turned out pretty good. If you decide to do it yourself, just remember, leave them an extra day. That'll help the effects last. Or if you want them done that day, you can add more heat or more Kool-Aid or more vinegar, whatever you want to do to make the solution a little bit more acidic, or add a little bit extra heat. Give them a minute and then put them back in the microwave, and it'll speed things up. But I just like to leave them overnight, and yeah, they turned out really good. So can't wait to throw them on my arrows, and the next video will be me building these arrows. So if you want to check that out, that'll probably be up soon. And thanks for watching, and keep on feeling the spirit.